All right, let's bring in Alex and Dero. Guys, what was working for Brandon Nimmo yesterday?
I want to get after it. 9 RBIs is nothing to share. That's a month.
That was some of my months at the end of my career, too. If that could have been a year for some guys.
And I know Alex had to game plan against Brandon Nimmo, had to execute against him. That's the first thing I thought of when I knew you were coming on the show. I was like, all right, we got to give Brandon Nimmo some love, first off, because he's been struggling. If you dive into his numbers, Nays dove into his numbers a little bit, he's been struggling. His expected numbers are way better, been hitting the ball hard, not getting any love for it, and it just blew up, 9 RBI. So I want to go through the at-bats. He's a tinkerer. Let's get into it a little bit, and we'll dive in on all the stuff he does. He toe taps, he leg kicks. So here it is. This is yesterday's side angle. Run that back to the beginning. I love that he's in an athletic. And what did I say to you in the back there? I said, that's a 5-hole toe tap. That's not a leadoff man, like, let me stick
trying to put the ball in there
and get on base. He's trying to drive the baseball from that point of view.
Drive it and go bridge, but to go back to, like, the tinkering stuff.
Go all the way. Keep going.
Like you're trying different things over the course of the year, over the course of the offseason, because you're always kind of searching for that feeling. You find the feeling, you try to hold on to it as long as possible, then you might lose it, then you got to try to find it again. And that's really basically what he's been doing with his lower half.
And I love that toe taps, leg kicks, whatever it takes to get rhythm and timing to get you to the point of contact on time.
But he's stacked
up. He's choked up a little bit.
He's a little bit more upright, gives him a little more leverage. He's been trying to get the ball in the air.
Pause this.
Hit the ball over the fence a little bit more, hitting in the middle of the lineup.
I mean, these are all different. He constantly minor adjustments, tinkering of where he sets his feet in the box, where he stands in the box, how he holds his hands. Does he choke up? Does he not choke up? Leg kicks, toe taps. I just want to show you the constant adjustments Brandon Nimmo is trying to make. He's been asked to hit in a variety of different spots in the lineup. Sometimes think that's hard to kind of know what the team's asking you to do. So run this.
You're going to see everything here. Toe taps.
Look at that.
Toe tap.
Run that back.
Couple of leg kicks there. One a little slightly more open, sometimes a little more in his legs, as opposed to being a little more stacked. Over here in 23, stacked now, a little more upright.
Is there one you like better than the other? I've always been I was always a toe tap guy. I felt like it engaged, it gave me the psychological advantage of engaging my backside. That right there. I'm ready to go.
I think
now I just got to, everything's coming from behind the.
And I think the toe tap, too, for a lot of guys, which at times I wish I'd messed around with the toe tap.
Yeah.
Because I think for a lot of guys, too, it's a timing thing. It's all it was. Like you said, it helps you, get ready to, like you felt like, okay, now I'm in my backside when I toe tap. And on the toe tap, the timing aspect of it, I think, is huge as well. We're going to see, like, when we get into the side angle, too, and a couple different side angles, we were talking about his toe tap, where like he ends up and starts, but like the part where he gets in the middle of his swing, it all works in the same fashion. So it's going to start a little bit different because you're trying to find the feeling, but the bat path is coming through in the same spot.
Run this. I mean, he's toe tapping in the middle. He's got a leg kick. He's wider here than he was. April 1st versus April 28th. I mean, he threw a hover at me.
Yeah.
So Brandon's constantly searching for rhythm and timing. And for whatever reason yesterday, it all started to sync up.
He's got the leg kick here. He's got the toe tap here. If we go slow, he starts it differently because he's trying to find a feeling, trying to find rhythm and timing. But right about pause there. I mean, he's in a good position either way.
Not really getting his hands back. He's kind of just letting his hands do what they want to do here.
Two different pitches, though. This pitch is a little bit low. This one's that high fastball that he hit for a bomb yesterday. So if we go a little bit, pause. I'm just kind of like looking at his lower half, a little bit more on the backside there, hitting against that front leg.
Yeah.
Not as much. This one, lower pitch, so he had to sink down in his legs a little bit to get to it. But what I'm talking about,
what did you do at the plate to feel like you got to your backside? Because for me, it was a toe tap. You see so many kids, I always feel like we have to teach right here. So, okay, if I'm right here, you see so many kids, and I did this until I was 30 years old. I just stuck my nose in there, and I was off my backside, right? Here, off my backside. And what happens is, as you start to go up in levels, talent gets you only so far, and once the Jeff Samardzes of the world can start to hammer in, if you're diving like this, there's no way to cover it, so you start recoiling. So once I felt that, bang, now I know I'm hitting from my backside. Was there something?
So I did a lot of, very similar to you without the toe tap, where I was just I was a little bit of leg kick, and I would cock my hands a little bit to really feel that, and I would sink into it. But kind of what you were talking about a little bit with Smith earlier is making sure that back knee doesn't drift beyond. Because that was my issue, where a lot of times my back knee would kind of come off, and then I would have to get off of it.
Yeah.
And I would be kind of drifting, and I'd speed the ball up, as opposed to really getting stacked and just holding it there and being able to explode off that back hip.
All right, let's get into the ABs, Well. I just love the tinkering. You don't have to just, if you're 0 for 3 and you're struggling, make an adjustment.
He's never settling,
AB.
too, for the results. That's why he's tinkering.
All right, so here's an at-bat against Trevor Williams right here. Early in the game, it's soft stuff away and then hard cutter in.
That pitch right there, these two pitches right there, those two cutters should have told, Trevor right there, hey, he's late on these pitches right there. It's 88 cutter in.
Run that back.
Make him beat me there at that point. He fouled off 2, he's late, get some jam, okay? And then my thing is, watching this at bat, watching this game, I was like, well, don't go back away. Stay in there. Make him beat you in. He hasn't showed you that he could turn on it. This is his first AB. Why go back away? Now, Trevor, his game is he's got to be all over the place.
Exactly. But he's
in and out, in and out.
He's shown you. Read swings.
Yeah.
He was late on your cutter in twice, and then you gave him a kind of roller out over.
And you could tell after that second strike, he's trying to protect a little bit. You showed him that pitch earlier in the at-bat.
Yeah.
So he's going to be ready for something like that. That's giving him an advantage right there. But, credit to Nimmo to stay with his approach.
So that's just bad pitch selection.
I thought he should have probably stayed in on that one. It wasn't a bad pitch. When he hits a good pitch like that, you probably should have thrown the cutter in.
All right, we go high heater.
Whew. Let's go back to the beginning of that at-bat.
Run the whole at-bat again for me, please.
Because
we talked about this in the back. He just dirt balls a slider. I mean, it bounces before the plate. And I'm convinced of this. I studied this, pause it, with Julio Franco. And pitchers, you'll deny it. But when you throw a terrible breaking ball like that, you throw it again. Well, you want back in the count. 87% of the time, it's coming back.
And pitchers shouldn't deny it. And as a catcher, I'm calling it again, though, too.
Yeah.
Because as a hitter, what are you thinking? I'm advantage, 1-0. I'm sitting heater. You know what? If he throws me a breaking ball for a strike,
I'm taking
I don't care. It doesn't matter. I still feel like I'm at the advantage here. So as a catcher, I know, like, hey, this guy needs to be able to get the breaking ball over for a strike. I'm calling it again. And that's what
run the next pitch. We would assume breaking ball's coming, and he throws a high heater. So now he's got him 2-0, and he just gives him the cookie at the top of the zone.
But it's not just that. You're letting him calibrate the heater. So that fastball right there, not a strike, but he gets his timing on the heater. So that 2-0, he was all over. And then first pitch heater, Brandon Nimmo, the book on him was always start him away, down and away is where you want to get him out. He always had good, slugging numbers, middle of the plate like most guys. He always handled that high fastball pretty good. So you wanted to start him away in order to be able to get that by him. So to start him off, credit him to be able to just jump on that first pitch heater right there. I mean, at that point in the game, you're up big. You're looking for cookies.
Give me the 2 boards. I don't need his struggles.
That beard, too.
I want to see the runners in scoring position. I want to give him the 2 positive boards on the back end. Take a look at this. Highest weighted runs created plus with runners in scoring position since 24. Aaron Judge, obviously, but Brandon Nimmo finds himself on this board. Clutch player. Cultured player.
Didn't you bury him?
Yeah, it was one of my 5 mistakes on this show I have had. Hard hit percentage leaders this
only
season.
5?
There's only 5.
Only 5?
Jonathan Aranda's at the top. Brandon Nimmo, hard hit percentage leader. So he might be on get-go.